The clock read 1:58 a.m. when I heard tires crunching over the gravel outside. I was sitting on the couch, wide awake, pretending to watch some late-night talk show rerun while my stomach twisted itself in knots. My wife Emily had texted hours ago, saying, "Don't wait up, the meeting's running late." Funny thing was, I'd seen her boss Mark post an Instagram story an hour earlier. Him and a few colleagues laughing at a rooftop bar. That uneasy pit in my gut told me she wasn't where she said she was. So I stayed up, lights dimmed, waiting. Not because I wanted to catch her, but because I needed to know what kind of man I'd become if I kept ignoring my instincts. When the headlights flashed across the window, I moved silently toward the door. Through the curtain's gap, I saw her, Emily, stepping out of Mark's BMW, laughing, her hand brushing his arm like they'd known each other a little too well. He leaned closer, said something that made her giggle, then reached out, touching her lower back, in that way only someone too comfortable would. My pulse hammered in my ears. I opened the door before she even reached the porch. The sudden sound made both of them freeze. Emily's smile vanished, replaced by shock, while Mark straightened up like a teenager caught sneaking home past curfew. "Well," I said calmly, leaning on the doorframe, "this must be the meeting you were talking about." Mark stammered something about dropping her home safely. His voice cracked halfway through the lie. Emily tried to speak, but her tongue tangled around excuses. I could smell alcohol, expensive perfume, and something else, guilt thick in the night air. "You can go now, Mark," I said, eyes locked on his. He hesitated, glancing at her for backup, but she just looked away. I said, "Go." My voice was steady, but my chest was tight. He nodded, muttered something, and hurried to his car without another word. Emily stepped inside slowly, like she was walking into a courtroom. "It's not what it looks like," she whispered. I laughed, not because it was funny, but because it was the oldest line in the book. "Then tell me what it is," I said, folding my arms. She started explaining how they were just celebrating a project win, how everyone was there, but her voice trembled. "You came home in his car at 2 a.m, I said. "Were the others invisible, or did they just vanish when he offered to drive you home?" She didn't answer. Her silence said more than any story she could have invented. I walked past her into the kitchen, poured myself a glass of water, and stared at the reflection in the microwave door. "You used to hate staying out late," I said quietly. "Now you stay out past midnight dressed up for your boss and expect me to believe it's work." She took a step closer. "Ethan, please, don't do this right now." I turned around slowly. "No, Emily, you already did this. I'm just trying to understand when it started." Tears filled her eyes, but there was no apology, just fear. The fear of losing comfort, not love. She tried to reach for my hand, but I stepped back. "You think I don't notice how you light up when he calls?" I asked you. "You think I don't hear the laughter you save only for him?" She shook her head, sobbing. "It's not like that." I tilted my head. "Then what's it like? Because from where I'm standing, it looks exactly like betrayal dressed up as career ambition." She sank onto the couch, covering her face. The house felt smaller, heavier. The air between us was thick with everything we'd never said and everything we both already knew. For 10 minutes, neither of us spoke. The ticking clock grew louder, like it was counting down to the end of something sacred. Finally, I said, "You know, I defended you when people said Mark was getting too close. I told them they were wrong, that you would never cross that line." Her eyes lifted, red and wet. I swear I didn't sleep with him." I nodded slowly. "Maybe not yet, but tell me, did it feel good having him treat you like something shiny and new while I was home paying bills and cooking dinner?" She broke down completely, whispering my name like it could undo what she'd done. I walked to the hallway closet and pulled out the small suitcase I packed earlier, just in case my fears turned real. Her face went pale. "Ethan, where are you going?" she cried. "To find my self-respect," I said, zipping the bag. "You've spent too long chasing attention. I've spent too long pretending not to notice." She tried to block the door, but I gently moved her aside. "I'm not angry," I said quietly. "I'm just done being the man waiting for scraps of honesty." Her sobs followed me as I stepped into the cool night air. As I walked toward my truck, I saw Mark's BMW parked down the street, headlights still off. Coward. I walked straight up to his window and knocked. He rolled it down halfway, looking terrified. "You waited," I said. "That's cute." He tried to explain, to apologize, to insist he was just being a good boss. I leaned in and said, A good boss doesn't text a married woman at midnight or drop her home at 2. He couldn't meet my eyes. Here's some advice, Mark. Don't mistake what's broken in her marriage as an invitation. It'll destroy you, too. Then I walked away, leaving him staring after me, speechless. By the time I hit the highway, dawn was breaking. My phone buzzed with her calls. I didn't answer. Somewhere between mile markers 42 and 43, I rolled the window down and let the cold wind hit my face. It hurt, but it also felt clean. I wasn't sure what came next, but for the first time in months, I felt like myself again. Maybe she'd realize what she'd lost. Maybe not. But one thing was certain.
If you've ever been betrayed or faced heartbreak, you're not alone. Subscribe to Cheating Secrets for real stories of love, betrayal, and resilience. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss a story that could change the way you see your relationships.